These are 5 ways that you can save money that go beyond a lot of the typical advice that you usually hear. Now, some of these are going to save you more than others. However, the power comes when you combine all 5 of the ways that I'm going to share with you today together, add up to significant amount of savings in a year. I'm talking over thousands of dollars. Now, first, this one might seem a little obvious at first, and that is using your library to check out things like books and periodicals, things like magazines, and even streaming services for watching movies, watching television shows. However, what a lot of people don't realize is your library often will have lots of other things that you can check out as well. From things like sewing machines, 3D printers, lasers. Now, this is going to depend upon the libraries in your area, but definitely check them out. Those are things that you can test to see if they're worth the investment later down the road. And they oftentimes will have passes and tickets to local attractions in your area. That alone can add up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over the year. Just because you don't happen to see a specific book or magazine on the shelf at the library, ask them to order it in for you, and most of the times they will be completely happy to oblige. Optimize your utility use. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, and if you combine all of them, it can add up to be a quite significant amount of savings. If you are going to be cooking things, either roasting and or simmering them, instead of using your electric oven or stovetop, which your electric oven can run 50 cents an hour to operate, stovetop 35 cents an hour to operate, instead put your slow cooker to use. Your slow cooker only uses about 5 cents per hour. So that can add up to a significant amount of savings throughout the year if you simply put your slow cooker to use instead of doing the same thing in that electric oven. Now, when it also comes to our utility use is some of the obvious things, turning that thermostat down if you're not at home, or even if you are at home, turning it down a little bit and wearing some additional layers. Some other areas you can see savings is when it's really cold out, and on the flip side in the summer when it's really hot out is simply by pulling the shades and or the curtains, especially if they're thicker curtains. You can keep your house a lot cooler in the summer by pulling them, as well as especially overnight, you can help keep the heat in by additionally pulling closed those curtains and or the blinds. Now, when it comes to your water, especially if you are on city water where it's metered, if you have some slow leaks, that can really add up. So make sure that you have got your hose bibs as well as any leaky faucets, and or if you have toilets running, check all of those things and make sure that you get them fixed so that you're not paying out more for water that you're not even putting to use. Now, this is an old one, but my dad was adamant when we were growing up, if you are leaving a room, you turn off the lights. You never leave the lights on. And the same thing with having things plugged in. Do not leave chargers plugged in. Do not leave appliances plugged in if they are not in use. They will still draw power. And so by going through all of the rooms, making sure things are unplugged when you're not using them and lights are off, you'll also save on your utilities. Now, this one is checking your insurance rates, and not just your house insurance, also check your auto insurance. I recently did this, and for our home insurance, I was able to find a different policy with better coverage, and it was $200 cheaper per month. Over a year, we're talking thousands of dollars. So definitely get a hold of an insurance agent or just do some shopping around, get some quotes. It is amazing the amount of money that you can save simply by checking up on your insurance. Now, up next is do-it-yourself household items. In fact, not only can this save you an incredible amount of money, but you're also getting rid of a lot of the harmful ingredients that come in a lot of cleaning products. So this is a super simple do-it-yourself all-purpose cleaning solution, and you can tailor it based upon what you have on hand. So this is one of my favorite cleaners to make. Now, I'm going to be doing a version that uses fir. You can also use pine, but if you live in an area or you don't have access to getting your own fir branches or your own pine, you can also use essential oils, but using citrus peels is another great way to add extra cleaning power to this. And then I simply put it in a spray bottle once it's been diluted down and use it as my all-purpose cleaner, and it works wonderfully and is a fraction of what you would pay at the store. And number 5, of course, is in the kitchen. Now, I feel it goes without saying, obviously cooking from scratch is definitely going to save you money over buying and going out to restaurants or buying processed convenience food, because you're always paying for that process and convenience. But beyond just cooking from scratch is making sure that you are taking advantage of seasonal produce and seasonal items. And if you need help with that, we have the Harvest to Table magazine that comes out every single month that is filled with in-season recipes with easy and simple but delicious cooked from scratch using whole foods and ingredients. Beyond that, though, is looking at buying in bulk, and not just in bulk, but also in discounted bulk. So, for example, I buy all of my large bulk items from Azure Standard, which is both a sponsor of this video and they have provided a coupon code. So double up on those discounts. You can use Melissa15 at checkout if you are a new customer to Azure Standard and your order is $100 or more. Now, some ways that you can also take advantage of buying in bulk is to go in with someone else. So if you've got some neighbors or extended family members, you might not have the funds to necessarily buy a 50-pound bag of flour or a 50-pound bag of rice and beans, or maybe your family's smaller and you're not sure that you'll go through it that fast. But you can go in with someone else, help to split the difference, and you still get the benefit of the cost of buying in bulk, because when you purchase in bulk, especially from Azure Standard, the ounce or the pound, it goes down per that the larger you buy in bulk. Along the same lines of buying in bulk is to also buy the whole things of meat. So buy the whole chicken or buy anything that you can meat cut wise that has the bone in it still. One, it's usually cheaper to buy a whole chicken per pound than it is to buy each of the individual cuts by themselves. But even better is you can then take the carcass from that and turn it into delicious bone broth. Bone broth is a great way to stretch your dollar and also to make things like homemade gravies, homemade condensed creams of soups, your roux, your sauces, all of those things. You can stretch your dollar by using bone broth, and you increase the flavor as well as the nutritional profile as well. So it's like a quadruple win. So when it comes to meal planning, instead of just grabbing a recipe that sounds great to you and then go and buying all of the ingredients, first you want to look at what you've already got available in your home, what's on sale for that week, and also what's in season. Because anytime something is in season, you're going to get a better deal for it. Even better is if you can do U-Picks or buy directly from the farmer on the seasonal merchandise, you're definitely going to get a better deal. And bonus tip is then preserve those items so that you have them throughout the whole year and you got them when they were at their most cheapest as well as highest nutritional content. And if you want to learn more about how to make bone broth the simple, fast, and easy way, then go and check out this video here.